Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Tyler Talks Travel Trailers out at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we are about to tour a factory fresh 2026 No Boundaries 20.7, of course, with the Beast Mode package. If you don't know what that is, it's a Kurt independent suspension, and this thing will get you places most trailers cannot. So if you want to go off the beaten path, maybe you and your significant other don't like to camp right on top of other people, this Kurt independent suspension is going to get you there. There is literally no axle underneath this trailer. It looks crazy. Anyway, yesterday I did a tour that was a Flagstaff Superlight 26 SRD. That floor plan is almost identical to this one. So if you do like this one and it's just a little too heavy, the Flagstaff video will be at the very end of this one, and I'll put a link in the description as well. Definitely check that one out because it should be a little lighter. But if you're wanting that high clearance, that independent suspension like the Beast Mode, you are going to want to see this thing. It is awesome. So like always, we're going to do the specs first. It takes me 1 minute to do those specs, and then we'll dive inside. Let's go, guys. So the basic specs on this 2026 No Boundaries 20.7. Your unloaded vehicle weight is 6,203 pounds. Your cargo carrying capacity is 1,500 pounds, which brings your potential fully loaded weight to 7,703 pounds. Your hitch weight is 920 pounds. Your exterior length is 29 feet total. Your exterior width is 8 feet. Your exterior height is 11 feet, 3 inches. Your tanks, your fresh water tank is 40 gallons, your gray water tank is 40 gallons, and your black tank is 30 gallons. Your awning size is 19 feet. Let's jump inside. All right, everybody, now that we got those specs done, we will start with the inside, work our way out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am going to be giving you a lot of information, features, options, construction. I also do a lot of measurements to give you a better sense of what the space is like. I figured I'd rather give you too much info than not enough, because I know how annoying it is to go from video to video trying to get your questions answered. So once you're sick of me, just turn me off. My feelings will not get hurt, but at least I know I gave you as much info as I can. As you notice, this does have 2 doors. There is a reason for that. This back door is going to be coming into the main living area, where you do have one slide out, which is going to be right there. Nice big slide that's going to give you a lot of floor space in this living area. That is a 36.5-inch slide out right there, so it's pretty deep, and that is what's giving you all of this floor space right here. Yesterday I did the 26 SRD Flagstaff, very, very similar. The main difference is the dinette. As you can see, the one on the Flagstaff is a U-shaped dinette. This is more going to be like a 4-seater. But you can still sit 4 people, just like on the U-shaped dinette, but you do gain a pantry over here that we'll get into. So the size of this table is going to be 27 by 41 for this tabletop right here. You can convert this into a bed. So if we look down here, look at that nice sturdy pole that you got right here. That thing is going nowhere versus the poles. And the cool thing about it is when you want to put this down, all you do is squeeze this and then push it down. I can't do it with one hand, but then it comes down to these tabs. Then you throw those cushions on top of the table, and you got yourself a nice way to accommodate people if you get the occasional guest. I measure things pretty accurately of what you can actually use. Some of the specs will seem a little bigger on the manufacturer website, but I measured from the wall all the way to right where this starts. You're looking at 41 by 70. So that's about 5 feet, 10 inches right there. So you can sleep 2 children, an adult comfortably. So if you have an occasional grandchild that likes to come, that will come in handy. And then you're not wasting space on bunk beds. You do have storage down here, goes all the way back. That storage is going to be 23 by 33 and 15 inches tall. You do not have one on the other side because that is where your fuse box is. But you do have some added storage up above for board games, entertainment stuff that you're going to bring along. Up here, it goes all the way across. And you're looking at 15 by 74 and 14 inches tall for that cabinetry up above. And then to the right, you do get this pantry that you normally don't get in the 26 SRD. The 26 SRD, you will get more windows that wrap around, but a lot of people, you know, storage goes very quick, so having this could be a plus. So pretty much floor to ceiling, ceiling to floor of storage. So that's going to come in handy. Bring all those snacks along. Store some extra kitchen appliances. These are going to be 19 by 29, and they range from 18 inches tall all the way down to 15. I like when they give you a variation because not everything you have is going to be the same height. So I like when they give you kind of, you know, a variation of heights in the cabinetry. What do you think of that nice green tone? Someone mentioned it the other day in the comments, one of my subscribers. They said it looked like a different green tone, and I thought so too. I thought I was just going crazy. So I think it is kind of like a lighter tone. It is not bad. I like it. I like the gold accented handles. You got your raised beveled edge on your cabinetry, hidden hinges. Just looks really good. I did forget to point out you do have one plug right here where the dinette is. So if you need to get some work done, charge your phone, charge your laptop, you got that plug right there right next to the dinette. Moving on over here to the left, we got the kitchen, and this is the main reason I love this floor plan so much, is because all of the counter space. Look at all of this counter space. If you're someone that likes to cook, or if you're like me and you like kitchens because you like food like me, this will have that prep space in here in this kitchen area. So if you're talking about from the stovetop to this over here, you got 24 by 42 of counter space right there. If you put this stove top down, you actually get more prep space. So you can literally use all of this from the wall over the stove top to over here. You're looking at 24 by 89 of counter space right there. So no shortage of counter space. Down below, you do have some more storage. This one's gonna be 16 by 22 and 18 inches tall. That is great storage. In the 26 SRD, you will get a fireplace right here. So I'm starting to notice some differences. Definitely check out that other video because they're both built extremely well. Right here you got 4 drawers where I don't think you get that many in the Flagstaff. And drawers, you know, sometimes these manufacturers don't give you enough drawers. These are going to be 10.5 by 15. I forgot to do the depth. Dang it. But they're not bad. They're not super crazy deep, but definitely deep enough to put your utensils and things like that. Over here, this does not have the oven, but they do make up for that with something else, and I'll show you. So I feel like you could add an oven right here if you wanted to. This is going to be 22 by 27 and 16 inches tall. This is going to be great for all of your pots and pans, things like that. And then up above, you got your stove top with the fancy dancy lights. And then you flip this back when you're ready to use it. And then you got a backsplash for the grease. 3 top burner. And then you just bring this back over if you want to use that as prep space. Up above, you got your light fan combo. And then right here, check it out. It's an air fryer, baby. Yeah, so it's a convection, air fryer, and microwave. So they did make up for that oven down below not being there. And I don't know, I love the air fryer. At first I was like iffy about it, but now we use it nonstop all week long. So I really like that they gave you the option to have all 3, convection, air fryer, and microwave. It's not super big, but big enough. Over here to the left, you got these nice floating shelves. Would that be called floating? But it's cool. It looks like this distressed wood. It looks natural, pretty cool. You could put your mugs in there, or you could put them down here on these little hooks. These 2 areas are going to be 16 by 16 and 9.5 inches tall. So that's some good storage. And over here to the left, you got your area for maybe some seasonings and stuff like that. Over here to the left, you do have more storage. This is going to be probably more for like cups, bowls, things like that, because it's not super deep. It does go all the way back and utilize that corner area over there. This can be 7 by 49 and 10.5 inches tall for both of those. I always mention it. I love that they do the magnets versus the rolly pins, because those rolly pins start to stretch out and then you have to be worried about your stuff, you know, being on the floor when you get to where you're wanting to go. It does have like a little lip, so your stuff should stay nice and secure in there. Down here, you got the farm style sink. That's just what they call it in the industry. If you notice, they give you this cutting board that seamlessly fits into the sink. I love it. I don't think I'd use it. I always say that because it just looks nice. When you're ready to use the sink, bring this over here. It's got a nice little holder right there by the stove. And check this sink out. 13 by 21 and 6 inches deep. I always say this, it's kind of annoying. I didn't notice this until a customer actually told me. They make the sink so small that you can't fit your pots and pans. So most likely you're going to be using pots and pans. So you can actually get all of your dishes done in this 13 by 21 and 6 inches deep. If you had that top cover on this right here, this counter space area will be 24 by 47. So really you can utilize the entire kitchen area as prep space. Right here you got your metal faucet, and I'm kind of bummed out about this. I don't know why they did it, but they got rid of that sink with all the different bins, the waterfall spout. I don't know why they did that. That was like one of my favorite things in the kitchens that Nobo did last year. So if you get a 25, you will be able to get that kitchen, but the 26, it looks like they did discontinue it. But they gave you this nice top air, this faucet up here. It has like a waterfall spout like that, or you could turn it, pull it out, and spray stuff off. I like the gold, looks really good. Over here you do have a cup cleaner, so whenever you're looking at these, do not press that. I've said the story a lot. I pushed it and I got antifreeze all over my manager's brand new $200 polo sweater, and then it shot up to the roof, and it was a fifth wheel, so it was kind of hard to clean. So if you're out looking at new ones, don't push that button down. Over here you do have a charging pad. If you notice, if you set your phone on there, it'll charge your phone, and then bam, you got 2 more plugs right here and a USB-C, so you can, you know, put your coffee pot, Keurig, things like that. Put this down. Don't take your finger off. But that is not bad for the kitchen area. Down below you do have easy access to your plumbing. Dang it, I forgot to measure this one too. I'm slacking today, guys. And then you got more storage down here. There is your plumbing. Some people like to see that. But overall, nice kitchen. This is one of the best kitchens I've seen because of that prep space you get. Over here to the left, you do have your 10 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator, which you know I'm a fan of because they cool extremely fast, versus the gas electric where you have to wait, you know, the night before you have to have it on, and it takes a little longer. So this is going to be a lot deeper because there's no metal coils back there, and it's just a lot more efficient. And then up above you do have your separate freezer. I love this floor plan. This floor plan gets me excited. Like yesterday, if you watched that video, I was pretty pumped up about it, but definitely check that one out because it is different. It is different. Moving on to the left, you got your theater seating, which are super comfy. And if you notice, you got those end tables that kind of set into the cup holders, and then you don't lose your cup holders. You still have some right there. And then when you bring this middle piece down, bam, you got 2 more cup holders for those cold snacks. The length of this couch from armrest to armrest is going to be 4 feet 10 inches. So that's kind of the space you get on the inside of this couch, which is also 58 inches. But if we move these over, you can kind of turn them if you want, take them out, like I said. And if you noticed, it is placed perfectly in front of the flat screen TV. So there's a little tab that you pull right there. Kick back, it will lean back as well. But I love the placement of the TV because it's straight on, and also it's perfect for the dinette as well. So you got a 32-inch smart TV with all the apps ready to go. So if you want to pull this out, look at this. So I just showed you where the couch is. Like I said, it's straight on. Usually you can't get a straight on TV in travel trailers. I don't know, they don't know how to do it. But over here, if you're sitting at the table, you can easily see it. And then if you're cooking, you can easily see it. So I'm a big fan of where they placed this TV. Perfect position right there. If we are talking about the interior height of this unit, you're looking at from the floor to the ceiling, you got 6 feet 10 inches of headroom. This is going to have a little more headroom than the Flagstaff. I think the Flagstaff's 6 feet 8 inches. So this will be 6 feet 10 inches, a little extra headroom right there. You do have plugs over here as well. So you have that one, then the two over there, and then that looks like the ones you'll get in the kitchen area. Ooh, look at that bottle opener. How cool is that? It's got the Nobo emblem on it, and then your key holders. So you got one plug there, two over there, and I don't think there's one by the couch over here. So the only one you'd have would be over here by the dinette. So that would be your plugs in this main living area. What do you guys think? Pretty nice, huh? So we are going to move on now to the bathroom. This tour is going to be a little bit, I'm trying to be a little faster just because we are busy today. We got customers coming in, so if it seems like I'm a little flustered, it's because I'm having to stop the video, come back, film some, stop, you know, because I'm getting customers coming in. But over here, you do have a pocket door. I love pocket doors because it allows for a lot more space versus a swinging door, which on the Flagstaff, they did not give you a pocket door going into the bathroom, but you will lose a little bit of cabinetry that the Flagstaff does. So this is kind of fun. This is why I wanted to show both back to back, because then you guys could see two variations of it. So check it out. Bathroom is not bad, pretty decent floor space. Plenty of height in the shower. First thing I always tell you guys to do is check the toilet. Go sit on it, make sure it's comfortable. It is a porcelain toilet. And then I get over here and sit on this and make sure you got enough knee room. So from the toilet seat to the wall, you're looking at 16 inches of knee room. So I feel like most people will be pretty comfortable in that. And then I'll turn you around. Whew, you could tell I've been running around. Look, I'm sweating a little bit. But, right? You got some wiping room over here, a little bit of wiping room over here. So not bad. This toilet, I really think no one's going to have issues with it. I always show this. Look how cool this is. Look at the wallpaper. You got a snake, you got a lassie, you got a cow, a bunny, you got a cowboy Dan, and a little farmhouse. How cool is that? I always say it, Nobo has the best interior feng shui to it. So does Surveyor. They're really nice as well. Over here to the right of me is going to be your shower, where I did measure it. If we're talking about the shower pan, you're looking at 26 by 33 for the space in there. And I will show you how kind of a reference. I am 5'7", not the biggest dude. But you can see I got pretty decent headroom. And then I measured from the shower pan to the skylight. You're looking at 6 feet 8 inches or 80 inches of headroom. So I always say it, if you're 6'9", you're going to be in the space dome. You'll be able to look out while you shower. The shower head is not at a bad height either. So like I said, I'm 5'7". It'll be like right above my head. So not bad. Pretty good right there. Over here you do have your sink. Pretty standard sink. Decent size. You got your medicine cabinet. They always latch it right here so you don't lose stuff. Pretty standard. And then you got your toothbrush holder right there. Down below you do have more storage, easy access to your plumbing. And then they do things a little different on the Nobos. They kind of split up their control panel. So right here is going to be a half of it. You got your water pump, water heater, just flip a switch, it'll do its thing. And then you got your black or gray, black, fresh, and battery readings right here. Down below, this is a very nice feature. So if you're someone that likes to camp in cold weather, this does have 12-volt heat pads on it. So there's two ways you can heat an underbelly. This has both, which is awesome. So this has a heated and enclosed underbelly with forced air. Sometimes they will just do that. I'm a huge fan of the 12-volt heat pads because they actually run off the battery. And the benefit of that is if you're out, hiking, fishing, and you're not in the trailer, do you really want to have to keep your heater running all day to keep those tanks heated? Or would you rather use the 12-volt heat pads? Another great thing about these 12-volt heat pads is if you're going down the road, maybe you're driving through like a cold state like Colorado. I almost said Florida. If you drive through Colorado and it's freezing temps, you're not going to be able to keep your heater running while you're going down the road. And if your tanks are full, the last thing you want to do is get to your campsite and see that your tanks are frozen. So you could put these on going down the road, you'll get to your spot and your tanks won't be frozen on you. So huge fan of that option right there. This does have a tankless water heater, so take as long of a shower as you would like. You could actually set it to different settings or temperatures. I always say this, like my girlfriend likes lava for water. I don't. So you can have your own readings and stuff, or your own temperatures right here and have it ready to go for you. So pretty nice. Right here, this little counter space is about 6 inches. So you got a little bit of counter space as well as a plug. So if you want to bring your hair straightener, hair dryer, things like that along. But overall, not mad at this bathroom. The thing I like about middle bathrooms is, you know, if you have guests out here in the living area, maybe your significant other wants to shower, they're not having to walk from the back all the way through the living area, you know, after they shower. They can actually shower in here and get easy access to that bedroom. Ooh, forgot to point it out. It's got the big fart fan, baby. Look at those blades. It's got 4 speeds. And I don't think this one, let's see if this has the rain cover on it. It looks like it does have the rain cover, so that's nice. If you're going down the road and let's say you left it open and it's raining, you don't have to worry about rain getting in. I actually always tell people to do it because then when you get to your destination, it's not going to be all stuffy in here. So that fan is a good way to, you know, keep it nice in this bathroom, moisture and stuff like that when you're coming out of the shower. Moving on to the bedroom. It's got another pocket door. Yes. Then it gives you a little more space in the bedroom. Slide this over and look at that. You got a 60 by 80 true queen facing north-south. If you're new to the RV world, they usually do 60 by 74, which is an RV queen. Let me tell you why it's nice that it's a 60 by 80. And it's because I don't want to lie to you. These mattresses suck. So the great thing about that is if you wanted to go get a topper or a new mattress, Tempur-Pedic, whatever you want, it's not going to be overhanging right here. So you can actually get a true 60 by 80. You can definitely walk around the bed without disturbing your partner. So that's nice. If someone likes to wake up a little early and have their coffee, you can get in and out of bed because of that north-south facing bed. When this door is closed, the walk room you have through here, you got 16 inches of walkway right here, and then in front of the door, you got 14 inches. So it's not bad. Most people should be fine with that. Turn you around nice and slow. Try to not make you sick. Over here on the sides, you got 18 inches of walk room. So a little more on the sides. Most people should be pretty good with that walkway. You do have your hanging wardrobes right here. They're going to be the same on both sides, so I will just do one side. This side is going to be 14.5 by 19 and 33 inches tall. So actually both of them will be like that. You even have it light in here that you could turn off individually. So a decent height for this wardrobe. Your shirts most likely won't be all crinkled up on the bottom. You do have the same drawers on both sides. These drawers are going to be 10.5 by 15 and 3.5 deep. So all 4 drawers will be that same. This is a nice setup if you need a CPAP machine. For one, you have a plug on both sides. So you have 2, or 1 here, 1 over there. This is great if you have a CPAP machine because you could even maybe put it over here. I don't know the size of CPAP machines, but you do have USB and USB-C right there, so you could charge your phone. Those are great because they actually work off the battery. And then you have your standard plug. So you should be able to put a CPAP. This is going to be 14 by 20 and 13 inches tall. So you could set your CPAP machine right there. And then it does have the front window. Don't be too nervous about that. I get questions about, you know, what if it cracks? They do make aftermarket covers. And we also offer some products like glass defense and stuff like that. Definitely get the windshield if you can, because it just lets in a lot of extra light in here. Up here, you do have storage that goes all the way across. This is great for like your winter clothes and stuff. Maybe you're going through different climates and you need to bring both options along. You could tuck your clothes up here. This is going to be 26 by 92 and 11 inches tall. Excuse me, guys. I swallowed a bug. I'm just kidding. So 26 by 92 and 11 inches tall up above. And then below you have even more storage. So great storage in this bedroom. Let's see, there you go. So 15 by 19 and 4 inches deep for all 4 of these drawers. Not super deep, but definitely nice when you get some extra drawers for storage. You can hang your TV up. Let's see. There we go. You can hang your TV up right here. It's got the backer board, and it looks like they're already giving you the 12-volt plug, so that's nice. Both TVs will be 12 volts, so you can actually run them without being plugged into a generator and shore power. We will be getting into solar and stuff like that here in just a bit. I just wanted to show you the lay of the land in this unit. You do have, you know, lights, reading lights up there that you can turn off individually. Talking about the air conditioner. Well, actually, as we walk back, I'll let you know. So this has 33 inches of walkway through this door. And then this one right here is a little smaller. It's going to be 27 inches of walkway or way to walk through. So up here you do have your 15,000 BTU air conditioner, and it is all ducted. So this is the biggest AC you can get, and it will push all the air to that front bedroom. And like I said, it is ducted. If they ever tell you that it being not ducted isn't going to make a difference with the noise, it does. Watch. If you open this, definitely louder if you have an AC that's just dumping straight from the AC. So it does make it a lot more quiet. It's a little more muffled when it's ducted throughout the whole trailer. So you got your 15,000 BTU air conditioner. Now talking about travel mode. So the reason they put 2 doors is when this slide is in, it will actually come past that door right there. So imagine you're going down the road, you got an emergency, you got to go to the bathroom. You would not be able to get through this area right here. So having that front door allows you to get in here, still use the bedroom if you just want to stop off, take a nap, and use the bathroom as well. And then on this back door, you got easy access to all of your counter space. So if you want to stop off, make sandwiches, you can. And then you can also open that fridge. So if you stop off for groceries, you can easily access the fridge as well. The one thing I love about this floor plan so much is you can almost utilize everything. Like if you stop off, you just want to eat your sandwich at the table, you could still get in there and use that table as well. One thing I do always want to mention is that slide outs are not meant to be used when they're in all the way. If you're going to use the slide, put it out completely, because you will damage it. You could separate the floor from the slide sometimes on these slide systems, and it's with any RV or travel trailer. A lot of people get confused about that because, you know, they see people in motorhomes and they are sitting on the slide and stuff. It's because those are engineered to actually sit on them. Up here, you got some more fun little stuff, and below. So below, we'll start right here. Check it out. It's got the road vac. So you know that those times when you sweep up and you just really can't get that last bit of dust? Well, check it out. Bam! Woo! That thing's got some power. So it's right by the doorway, which is nice. So people coming in and out, you're able to get that dust up, dirt up, whatever. Nice and easy with this dustpan. It does have the vacuum with the, like the things to plug into it. Why am I drawing a blank? But this will just go right into there, and then you have, dang, that thing's got some suction. So yeah, we'll have the attachments right here as well, so when you sweep, you could clean this up right after, you know, once you get back from your trip. So that's pretty much the interior. Talking about some of the features, it does have 400 watts of solar and a 2,000 watt inverter. If you do not get the Beastmode package, it'll usually just come with 200 watts. So you do get a lot of extra stuff other than just the suspension. So that 400 watts is going to constantly keep your batteries recharged, which is also going to help with those tank heaters. So this is definitely a nice trailer if you want to go out. You're not going to have hookups. You'll still have that solar. They do make a power package as well where you can run literally everything. I just don't know how long it will really last when you're out there. So, you know, worst case is get a generator. They're pretty affordable. But we will go outside now after I show you this control panel real quick. You got your indoor, outdoor speakers, and then your lights inside and out. We'll turn one on. You got your porch light, slide out, and your awning is electric. Let's move on outside. So I always like to pause right here just so that way you can see in case I missed anything. Whoa, oh, okay, that's my notes. So just in case I miss anything, I usually try to cover everything. So like I said, it will show 200 watts here, but if you're getting the beast mode, that's kind of what you're getting right there. So moving on to the front. What do you guys think of that green? Doesn't it look good? I like it. Someone the other day said, yeah, it's nice because it blends in with the woods, which I could definitely see. So it's got that nice rugged fiberglass cap. Doesn't that look good? It has LED lights too that go all the way around. You got your electric tongue jack, 20-pound propane tanks, battery disconnect right there. So when you're ready to store this, you could turn your batteries off, and your storage. So you got your luggage latch. These just clip on right there. And look at all of that storage. Lots of storage. This storage area is going to be 32 by 93 and 18 inches tall. And then your doorway is going to be 12 by 26. So that's where this is, 12 by 26 to give you an idea of what you could fit through here. But 32 by 93 and 18 inches tall for that storage. Another thing I want to show you is check it out. See all that? This is a 6-side aluminum frame trailer, meaning the front wall, the back wall, both side walls, the roof, and the floor are all aluminum. Definitely keep an eye out for this. Ask the sales guy, say, is it 6-side aluminum framed? Because these companies will just slap a sticker on the side and it'll say aluminum framing. And a lot of times that means it's mixed with wood. So just know what you're paying for. This is a big purchase. So, you know, these little details, you could be paying for it. You do have an outside griddle right here that does hook on. So it's like a little flat top. The Flagstaff, they actually stopped doing the griddles, so that's cool. You'll still get that in this Nobo. And I'll show you where that hooks on. Then you got those, they're just your slam latches. It does have the solid steps on both sides, so they didn't just do it on one side. Those just fold right into the doorway. This is where your griddle will go. I love this new placement of this. That used to be like a real thin little railing. This looks a lot more sturdy. And this one, see how it just slides right in? You got this for maybe like seasonings and stuff like that, and then your griddle will hook on right here with another bracket. Like I said, it does got the tankless water heater, and then you do have your hot and cold water right here as with your coil hose, so you could clean stuff off, clean the grill, clean the dog, whatever, and it is hot and cold water. You do have your plugs right there, and then check it out. Look at that. Look at those big tires. It's got a lift. Nice wheels, all-terrain mud tires, baby. And if we come over here, what you guys have all been waiting for, look at that. Oh, I'm getting too old. How sweet is that? So like I told you, Kurt independent suspension, and it doesn't have that axle in the middle. So imagine when you're going down like super rugged terrain and there's big boulders in the middle, you're not going to be hitting that with your axle. They say it's got 5 inches of flex. They also say racing inspired. I don't know about that, but definitely going to help the frame of the trailer over time as well. If you know you hit a big pothole, all that stress that's usually going to be transferred into the frame of the trailer is now going to be absorbed by this suspension. I meant to look up the warranty on it too, because it does have a good warranty as well. Next time I do a Nobo, I will definitely make sure to have that info for you. And like I said, it's all buttoned up nicely, heated and enclosed underbelly with tank heaters. It also, not only does it have this lift, whoa, let me try to get up, but if you notice, see how it has like that dovetail right there? Whereas most trailers, it's just flat. Think about when you're going down like a big steep hill and then you come up at the bottom, and then that's when people start to scrape off their stabilizers, your plumbing. That is not going to be good. So that dovetail is also going to help with that clearance. But man, doesn't that thing look awesome. You got indoor, outdoor speakers that are Bluetooth. You got your porch light as well as your awning lights up above, and a nice big electric awning. Moving on to the back. They are giving you the spare, and it is the same all-terrain tire. You do have a ladder prep. I know, boo. It is a nicer ladder though, like it telescopes and you could put it into storage. It's real lightweight, but it just latches on. This is a fully walk-on roof, like I said, because it is aluminum framed, and then it is prepped for the camera. The cameras vary between 300 and 400 bucks, just depending on the size that you get. Looks like we got a Schwintek slide for this unit. Nice and solid. I encourage you to do this too. Go push on slide outs with different brands. I swear you can literally, you can push the slide in. It is, and then see inside. So this is a nice solid slide. Also talking about this construction as we go to the other side, I have something that I want to talk about. But right here is your black tank flush. And then down below you do have all of your plumbing, like for your black and gray tank. My gimbal is doing whatever it wants today. So look at how nice and up high that is. I love the placement of that. And there is no plumbing in the back. So that's going to help a lot as well, because once you go down that hill and then go up, that's when you drag your plumbing. This is really high. And the fact that it's close to the tire, you're not going to have any way of hitting this. So you got your black and gray right here. I like that. I like the placement of that. You got your potable water and your city water. So when you're dry camping, you'll fill this up. And when you're at campgrounds, you'll fill that, or you'll put the hose to that. So what do you guys think of this beast mode? It's awesome. Talking about the wall construction. So the way they make these walls is it'll go fiberglass, then it'll go Luan, or it'll go a composite material. Then it'll go the rigid block foam, the aluminum, and then your inner walls. Luan is just a thin sheet of wood that goes across this wall. And what happens when, you know, wood gets wet? It starts to deteriorate, it starts to get moldy, it starts to literally delaminate, like the walls will really start to separate. The composite material, also known as Asdel, this is the brand, material that is impervious to water, as they say. So basically it's a waterproof material, very nice barrier. They put this in water for months and months until they got tired of looking at it, and it did not degrade. So if there was any way water could get in there, that's going to be a nice barrier. I'm sure you've seen it when like when the older trailers out there, they're starting to bubble. That's because water has literally gotten in the walls, and now the walls are separating. So this will have 6-side aluminum framing. It will have the composite outer wall. It will also have the independent suspension. So this trailer is definitely made to go off-road and to last. Whew. All right. That was a lot. I was a little off today for some reason. I kept drawing like blanks, not sure why. But I like this layout, and I do like the Flagstaff layout. It's kind of hard to decide. If you're looking for more like an off-road style, this is definitely the one. But the Flagstaff will have that automotive grade torsion axle independent suspension. So that video will be at the end on one of these sides. So check that one out if you like this floor plan, or vice versa. I'll put this one at the end of that video as well. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, baby. We are on our way to 6K in less than a year. If you want to know where I'm located at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our phone number will be down below in the description. So if you call in, please just ask for Tyler, because I am not just a YouTuber, I'm a full-time salesperson. So you can imagine how busy I get. So I'm going back and forth. So, the second reason to ask for me is because we are on a rotating list. So if you don't ask for me, you could end up with another sales guy, which isn't bad, but I want to help you. Unless you just don't like me, that's cool too. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good evening, a good morning, a good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.